Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. Today, we are going to unlock a completely new level of efficiency for your cloud infrastructure. Whether you're an IT student, a budding developer, or a seasoned pro looking to really sharpen those cloud skills, consider me your mentor for the next few minutes. We're focusing squarely on mastering the AWS DevOps Agent. By the time we wrap up here, you're going to have a crystal clear, actionable understanding of how to take full control of your development lifecycle right on the AWS cloud platform.
But first, we really have to address the elephant in the room, right? How do you actually automate everything? I mean, if you've ever had to deal with manual IT processes, you absolutely know the frustration, the endless configuration, those completely draining late-night deployment errors, the bottlenecks that just stall your entire team. It's exhausting. But what if you could just strip away all of that manual friction? Well, that is exactly what the AWS DevOps Agent is designed to do. It's basically the ultimate automated solution built to take those tedious, error-prone manual tasks entirely off your plate so you can focus on actually building great things.
To get us there, here's our roadmap for this explainer. First, we'll meet the AWS DevOps Agent. Then, we'll cover its features and core benefits, followed by overcoming the complexity challenge. After that, we'll look at some real-world industry examples. And finally, we'll wrap up with best practices for success.
Okay, let's dive right into Section 1. Meet the AWS DevOps Agent.
The definition here is just beautifully straightforward. The AWS DevOps Agent is a highly powerful tool that helps you automate your DevOps practices natively, right there on the AWS cloud platform. It is designed from the ground up to give you a simple, highly efficient way to streamline your workflows. You don't need to be out there stitching together a dozen third-party tools and just praying they communicate correctly. This agent lives right inside the AWS ecosystem and is built to make automation accessible, predictable, and incredibly powerful.
Now, crucially, this agent doesn't work in isolation. It's actually a key player within the broader AWS DevOps services family. Think of it like a highly coordinated sports team. You've got AWS Code Commit for securely storing your source code, AWS Code Build for compiling that code and running tests, and AWS Code Pipeline for orchestrating the entire release process. The DevOps agent sits right in the middle of this ecosystem. It communicates flawlessly with these native services to give you a complete, end-to-end DevOps solution, which literally eliminates unnecessary integration overhead.
Moving right along to Section 2, Features and Core Benefits.
The absolute superpower here is how the agent handles the lifecycle of your application across three critical phases: build, test, and deploy. Honestly, this is the holy grail of modern application development. It takes your raw code, builds it into an executable format, immediately fires off automated tests to ensure flawless functionality, and then seamlessly pushes that code straight into a live deployment environment. By automating this exact three-step pipeline, you drastically reduce human error, wipe out bottlenecks, and vastly speed up your time to market.
Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. What if my team uses a very specific or niche tech stack? Well, the really good news is this tool supports an incredibly wide range of programming languages and frameworks. Whether you're developing a lightweight web app in Node.js, a robust enterprise backend in Java, or some heavy data application in Python, it's highly adaptable to your specific needs. You don't have to completely change how you write your code. The agent just naturally adapts to your existing workflow to automate it.
All right, let's jump to Section 3, Overcoming the Complexity Challenge. Let's be real, the complexity of the AWS DevOps Agent can definitely present a steep learning curve. And there's this trap I see IT students and professionals fall into all the time. The hard way is deciding that on day one, you're going to dive straight into highly complex projects and difficult integrations. Trust me, trying to deploy a massive multi-tiered enterprise application your very first time out is a guaranteed recipe for a sleepless weekend of debugging. The smart way, and a recurring theme for you today, is to start simple. Just automate a basic Hello World application first, master the mechanics, really understand the flow, and then gradually scale up to those more complex builds.
The second major hurdle people face is integration friction. Trying to force outside services to play nice with an automated pipeline can honestly cause massive headaches. So the absolute best way to overcome these integration hurdles is to pair the agent directly with AWS Code Pipeline and AWS Code Build. Because you're keeping everything native to the AWS ecosystem, these services speak the exact same language. You completely bypass the headache of forcing third-party tools to communicate, making the entire setup process remarkably smoother and just far more reliable.
And this brilliantly illustrates our next topic, Section 4, Real-World Industry Examples. The flexibility here is just incredible, especially when you look at deployment options like Amazon EC2, Amazon ECS for containers, or even AWS Lambda for serverless applications, alongside deep integration with databases like Amazon RDS. Let's just imagine a hypothetical tech company pushing a massive update to their platform. Using the agent, they completely automate the build and test process. Once everything is validated, the agent smoothly pushes the new application code to Amazon EC2 instances to handle the fresh web traffic while simultaneously ensuring a secure, steady integration with their Amazon RDS database for all their user data. And the best part? All of this happens automatically, right in the background, without a single engineer having to manually move a file or configure a server during the release window. That is the true power of this tool in the real world.
Bringing it home now with Section 5, Best Practices for Success.
If you want to apply these skills confidently and securely in your own work, just follow these 3 logical steps. Step 1. As we discussed, start simple and scale up gradually. Seriously, don't try to boil the ocean on your first attempt. Step 2. Integrate tightly with native AWS DevOps services. Lean heavily on code pipeline and code build to do that heavy lifting for you. And step 3, please, whatever you do, don't skip this one. Monitor and log the agent. Automation is fantastic, but you absolutely need visibility. By enabling monitoring and logging, you can see exactly what the agent is doing at all times. It makes it infinitely easier to troubleshoot if a build suddenly fails or a test doesn't pass.
So we've covered what the AWS DevOps Agent is, how it seamlessly handles your build, test, and deployment cycles, and the absolute best practices to implement it without tearing your hair out. The path to DevOps mastery on the AWS Cloud Platform is right there in front of you. So I'll leave you with this final vital question. What will your first automated project be? I challenge you today to open up your AWS console, start with something beautifully simple, and build your very first automated pipeline. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, happy building!